The time is just gone, 8:23 a.m. as we continue with the show this morning. And we kick off looking at what can we expect with Hajj 1442 or Hajj 2021. And this morning we're joined on the line by Sedick Steenkamp, the chairperson of the South African Travel and Hajj Operators Association, SAMTOA. Brother Sedick, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, Brother Inat, and to all the listeners of Salamida. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, very well. And Jazakallah khair and so much to you, Brother Sedick, for your time. Now, let's talk about the Ministry of Hajj. And we've seen an article come out which says the Ministry of Hajj is considering making coronavirus vaccination mandatory for Hajj permits this year.
Yes, we've seen the article. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I mean, it is an indication that Hajj might continue, albeit on a smaller scale. But that is the positive part that we take out of that. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Whether we will have to take the jab, the vaccine, that seems to be something that they've already said from an Umrah point of view. And it seems like the ministry is going to implement it from a Hajj point of view as well. We'll have to wait for the official announcements to come, via the ministry, via the embassy, inshallah ta'ala, and take it from there. But it's certainly something that we're going to have to consider at this stage.
Yes, Brother Sedick, to all intents and purposes, and, with this article, it speaks about coordinating it with what they call a national transformation program, where the ministry is saying that, according to Hajj, this year, people must receive 2 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine that is approved in the kingdom. So this is going to be one of the very first requirements.
Yes, that's true. And again, I mean, it's something that I'm saying that we're going to have to consider in the country at the moment. Of course, the whole issue of a vaccine, whether you take it or not, that is personal to every Mu'tamirin and Hujjaj. And inshallah ta'ala, if people are preparing for Hajj, I think now's the time already to ensure that they speak to their medical doctors, that they speak to their various imams, and make sure that, just from a personal point of view, that they are comfortable in terms of taking the vaccine. From an industry point of view, I think at this stage we're going to have to start talking to government, start taking to the private fraternity as well, to make sure that inshallah ta'ala, whatever quota we might get, that we are able to ensure that people get this vaccine.
Exactly, and also the other requirement which we know is right across the entire world is the COVID-19 test, 72 hours.
No, of course, besides the vaccine, everybody has to take this test, according to the ministry. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we are set up in the country to do that. I think we must just make sure that from a testing point of view, that we do it with the accredited laboratories, from the Saudi government, that we make sure whichever test we take in this country, that test is one that they've accredited, so that there's no issue on that. I think the testing is not a problem at the moment. The vaccine is more of a problem that we're going to have to sort out, and we're going to have to sort it out starting now already, inshallah ta'ala, if anything comes through from a Hajj 1442, that we are ready. I think the last thing that people would want to be tripped over, if we get whatever quota we get, is not being able to take the vaccine.
One thing that's important to understand, Brother Sedick, is we know it's going to have to be coordinated with our Ministry of Health as well, yes, because we know at this point in time, the vaccine rollout is focused more towards the medical people.
Yes, and that is why I say that it's important that, discussion starts already with the various authorities to see how we can assist in terms of Hajj 1442. Like I said, if we get a quota, I mean, the last thing programs would, want, to do is not to be able to get the vaccine and not to be able to go from Hajj from that point of view. I think given that people, wasn't able to go last year, people are anxious. There would be people, inshallah ta'ala, that's ready to go this year. And we must make sure from an industry point of view that people are ready. As I said, whether you take the vaccine or not, that's from a personal point of view. If you don't take it, chances are that you're not going to get the visa. But I think we must make sure that we, from our point of view, must create the environment where people can do this, inshallah ta'ala, and ensure that they are ready as and when things get announced by the ministry, inshallah.
Exactly, and also, Brother Sedick, one important thing that the article speaks about is vulnerable groups, and they're talking of limiting to the age groups between the ages of 18 and 60.
Yes. You would remember that when it came to the Umrah, they limited between 18 and 50. Alhamdulillah, we are glad that at least they are talking of limiting it to 60 and increasing the age group to 60. We've seen the article from a local point of view that they are allowing the residents, the local people, up to the age of 70 to do the Umrah. Of course, making sure that they've got the testing and the vaccines done, and they've allowed the locals up to the age of 70. I mean, the article talks about up to 60, but inshallah ta'ala, we'll have to see when the official announcements come through what age limit that they would put on there.
Just finally, Brother Sedick, how is this likely to impact on the planning from the travel fraternity and the travel associations?
Well, as I said, for the first thing, we don't know what sort of quota we will get. That is the first thing. We have heard that they might allow a small amount of Hujjaj to come through worldwide. We don't know what our portion will be if a smaller amount comes through. I don't think that we expect the normal Hajj to go through this year, because the vaccine rollout and of course the virus is still there. But if a smaller amount comes through, of course we're going to have to plan for that. And then secondly, again, the preparation for Hajj this year in terms of the health issues and so on is going to be important. And then I'm sure they're going to allow a shorter period, for people to come through for Hajj. So these are all things that we are talking about at the moment. These are the big things that's going to, affect our Hujjaj. And I think that the Hujjaj, inshallah ta'ala, if we get a smaller quota, that they should prepare to go for a lesser period. I don't think the question of 6 and 7 weeks, might be allowed. Maybe a lesser period of 3 to 4 weeks. And people will have to think that through in terms of that, inshallah ta'ala. Should a lesser period come through, I think at this stage, from a flight and so on, accommodation point of view, there would be, of course, enough flights and accommodation. But it's just a matter of how do we ensure that in our country, pilgrims and everybody is ready for the type of travel that might be required. I mean, there's going to be massive changes coming through this year, inshallah.
Well, inshallah, let's see what happens, Brother Sedick. And, once official communication comes through, I'm sure we will have follow-ups and we will have regular updates, inshallah. But for now, jazakallah so much to you for your time with us this morning.
Jazakallah and shukran for the opportunity to talk to your listeners. And inshallah, we will keep, Salam Media and its listeners up to date, inshallah, as soon as we receive anything official as well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Inshallah, ameen. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sedick Steenkamp, South African Travel and Hajj Operators Association, SAMTOA, chairperson with us this morning.
Penny Appeal's Education First campaign helps children to get access to quality education.
I'm 14 years old. When I grow up, I'd like to be a scientist.
We believe every child belongs at school,
And we want education, a better education.
learning and dreaming their way to a better future. With your help, we can provide classrooms, desks, stationery packs, and school shoes. Help make these dreams a reality. Visit www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100